So yesterday I decided to take my 22 Magnum out to the Rimfire range to try out some different ammunition. This is my go-to rifle when I pop down to the farm for a few rabbits and foxes. It's absolutely awesome to use, and I've also set it up for my night vision as well. But I'd never tried to see how accurate it shot with the night vision, so I got to check that as well. I'll go through the ammunition that I took and tested and some of the results as well, and I'll show you the Garmin in action. So let me show you that first. So as you saw, absolutely easy to use, point and shoot, basically. I've never missed a shot with it. It is never recorded a shot that was next to me. Now at a rimfire range, especially where I go, you are very close to the guy next to you, and I had somebody shooting a 22 Magnum next to me. Oh God, I would say it was I placed the chrono on the left just to give it that little bit extra gap, and I reckon I was just over a meter, maybe 1.2 or 1.3. Did not pick up not one shot of the other rifle, but did not miss one of mine. So I'm so happy with this thing. It's absolutely awesome. So far I had been using the Hornady 45 grain, and I was quite happy with that, and I just thought I'll just see what else is out there, because the only other one that I've ever tried was the Remington. So I picked up some 40 grain of the Winchester X, Winchester 30 grain, and I also picked up some CCI in 40 grain as well. Now, the results. With the Hornady, as you can see, nice tight group, 0.708 of an inch. You know, not pretty happy with that. Especially when I do these tests, what I do is I don't take a hell of a lot of time to take the shot. I pretty much get on target and shoot like I am in a hunting situation. Now you'll also notice that these were all taken 50 meters in 5 power. So the lowest setting on the scope, like I would if I was hunting. The Remington I used to use with this rifle, and I thought I'd try out the Hornady, which I was happy with. And if you can have a look there, it's a very similar group, even though this seems to be touching and all that. If you actually measure the group, it is still 0.712 of an inch. But yes, that's much tighter, and you can always focus more on the target. The 30 grain, obviously, the one thing I didn't talk about is I had 1,700 feet per second in the Hornady, and the Remington was 1,854. So 150 feet average per second faster, but a little bit more open of a group. Now that's at 50 meters. My concern is that at 100 meters, that would open that double. And that's where you can come into trouble. At 150 meters, it's triple. So the tighter the group, at your closer range, the tighter it'll stay. It'll open up less and less and less as you go further away. Now, the Winchester, awesome speed, 2,121 feet per second. Group, not too bad at all. My only concern with this is that it is only 30 grain. Now, when it comes to bunnies, that's more than enough. But if you came across a fox, you may not put it down with a 30 grain. Maybe you're good with really, really good placement, but maybe not. These ones here surprised me, these Winchester X. There's 10 shots there because I had to see for myself to go a second time. This is the surprising part. This one had the lowest standard deviation of 7.2 and the lowest extreme spread, but it had the biggest group of 2 inches. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get that group any closer. Now, a bit further down here, I'll just pull this a little bit further, and you'll see the last group over there. And this is the CCI Max. Now, what I liked about this, it had a 1900, I'm not sure if you can see it there, I'll drop that a bit further, there you go. Had an average speed of 1951. Right, which is only about 100 behind the 30 grain. So there's my speed if I wanted speed. Group size, what do we got there? 0.6. That's actually the smaller group out of all of them there. It's actually quite impressed. And I thought, well, that's an alternative. That's a heavier, the Hornady is a heavier by 5 grain. Is that going to make a difference? I don't know, but to be honest, any one of these two would be absolutely perfect. Let me show you the second target. So the top 2 targets here were shot using my night vision. The first one on the left was with 5 power, and that one was zoomed into. It says 20 here, but I just double checked the scope because it sounded wrong. It's 18. My scope only goes up to 18 power. It's my hunting scope. And you can see that the group did tighten up as you've zoomed in more, so that's obviously going to happen. So happy with that regardless, but they were both with the Hornady. Now, I thought I'd sit there and try and really, really concentrate and have a really good crack at both the Hornady and the CCI. So Hornady here on that target, CCI on this one. Look at that. 3 touching and 1 sneeze. I'm going to call it a sneeze because I'm going to lie to you and say I sneezed. But no, 0.552 of an inch. Very, very happy with that. Yes, I will definitely keep continuing using it, but I'm not going to throw this one out, only because of the speed. Now, I hadn't measured the distance of this group, so I might as well do that here. And what do we got here? Let's go out to the furthest. I'm going to call it 0.557. So not even worth talking about. 552, 557, big deal. Very, very close to each other. So anyway, that's just a little video on how I test ammo. You will have noticed though that I do have a little cheat on my 22 Magnum. On the front, you would have noticed a bronze piece on the end of the barrel. That's my barrel tuner. So I had tuned that barrel for the Hornady rounds. So what I'm happy about, obviously that barrel tune works really, really well with the CCI as well. So happy days. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.